All right, I just wanted to make a quick video. I just wanted to talk about all the maybe the top 5 or 10 food related mistakes I've made that I can think of. There's too many to really list, but the ones that come to mind. Actually, before we do that, let me just explain why, right? When I walk around and see people that are overweight or that are struggling with being overweight or other issues, sometimes you can spot it quite easily. So sometimes you can see someone who's clearly overweight and is shoveling KFC into their mouth, right? It's kind of obvious. Then there's other people where, like me maybe, where I'm overweight, almost pretty much obese. And when I'm around other people, I try to really tone down my eating so that I can, not look like an absolute animal in front of people. And that behavior of trying to look good or trying to pretend like a normal person completely falls away when I'm on my own. It just goes away because there's no one there to impress. There's no one there to show off to or try to look good for. So that completely disappears, that facade. And I turn into an absolute beast. I mean, I'll talk about some of that stuff in a minute. But anyway, the reason I'm saying this is that maybe there are people in your life or you yourself who do this, where it's not obvious that you're struggling with it. You don't talk about it or bring it up or anything like that, but it really is a massive struggle for you to control your eating or to stick to a diet or exercise or whatever. So I just want to give you some insight for those of you who don't have any first-hand experience of this, what it's really like to be addicted to food and to overeat in a way that is horrendous. And for those of you who do this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe you can find the humor in this and maybe it gives you a space to look at your own habits. I don't know. This is more therapy for me, so that's this is the main reason why I'm doing it. The worst thing that comes to mind that I think about is when I used to eat pizza. There's something about pizza that just lights up the pleasure centers in my brain like a Christmas tree. It must be the combination of carbohydrates, like the base, and the sugar for sure. So I would love to eat 2 family-sized pizzas. Like, when I'm talking family size, I mean it is literally for a family size. I don't even know how the diameter of it, but it's huge, right? I think normal people probably eat 2 or 3 slices of pizza if they're really going to indulge in, whatever they might eat, 4 or 5. I would eat, the whole pizza, 8 or slices or whatever it is. And when I'm done with that pizza, that I would consider my appetizer. And then I would open the next box, which is just as large, another family-sized pizza, and then start eating that one. And the whole time, once I start, I can't stop, right? So I've had one bite of that first slice, and it's really cheesy. It's really sugary because I always get the barbecue sauce bases, right? I know it sounds crazy. The Italians will be yelling at me. You can switch off now because it doesn't get any better. In Australia here, you can get a really saucy barbecue sauce base. And there's a particular place around the corner from me that adds garlic into the sauce. So it's really garlicky and really sugary and that barbecue sauce flavor. So I'll get a base. I don't like a base that's thick. Like I want like a medium or even a really thin base. But I want lots of sauce. Like that sauce to base ratio is just through the roof. And then I want like simple toppings, pepperoni or whatever, lots of cheese obviously. And back in the day, like 4 weeks ago, I would normally eat 2 of those pizzas on my own. Usually when no one else was, definitely when no one else was around. If somebody else was around, I'd only have 1 or maybe 3 or 4 slices, right? Maybe 5 slices in front of people. But I would really struggle. Like I really struggle with this idea of having pizza in front of me or in the fridge or whatever, and it's not being eaten. Like I can't sit on the couch knowing that there is a slice of pizza uneaten in my house. I just can't do it. It's impossible. I've tried for, 15, 18 years. I've tried. I can't do it. If I know that there's pizza in the house, it has to be eaten. Why is it not being eaten? That makes no sense. So there's been times when I've eaten 2 family-sized pizzas 3 or 4 nights in a row. I think it must have been 4 nights in a row. I can't remember exactly because I probably blacked out every time I eat that much. So, I would say to be on the safe side 4 nights a week. 4 nights in a row. So that's 8 pizzas that I've eaten in 4 days. Like, it's ridiculous. I wish I had some photos. Maybe I can find some photos or some video or something just to give you a sense of it. But it's ridiculous. And the thing is that once I eat that first bite, like that hit of, dopamine is just intoxicating. And once I start eating, I can't stop. Like, as soon as I have one bite, I just want to shovel the next bite in, and there'll be times when I haven't even finished chewing the previous bite, and I'm already trying to shove the next one in. There's times when I will only chew like twice and swallow it so I can get the next bite in because I want that next hit of dopamine, or whatever it is. I don't know. It's looking back now, it's disgusting. Like I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't believe I did it, but I used to do that a lot. And I would get to the end of the first pizza, and I'd put that box to the side, and then I'd straight away pull open the next box, and sometimes I'll just stop and just look at the other box and go, oh my God, I finished that in probably in like 5 or 6 minutes. I could finish one entire family pizza. And sometimes I would look at that and just go, oh my God, that, like, the ads on the show I'm watching haven't even finished, and I have demolished that pizza. And so then, but that wouldn't stop me. I might pause for a second, but it's not going to stop me. Never have I ever eaten one pizza and then decided, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll save the other pizza for tomorrow, or throw it in the bin. I've just never thought that. That's never been something that crossed my mind, I don't think, ever. Maybe as a joke. So I would open up the second box, start into that, do all the same stuff. Before finishing even one mouthful, I'm already shoveling the next one in. When I get to the end of one slice, I'm already picking up the next one, getting it ready. And I would get to the end of the second pizza, and usually 2 or 3 slices before the end of the second pizza, I'm starting to feel quite full. But again, that doesn't stop me, right? It's just a little road bump along the way, and no matter what, I'm finishing the second pizza. There's nothing stopping me from finishing the second family-sized pizza. So I do that, and then I basically have to just roll over like a whale on the couch, and just stare up at the ceiling and think about what I've done. I didn't always feel bad about it. Maybe if it was like the third night in a row, I would. But usually I would still be on a real high from eating that much carbohydrates and fat and sugar. It's a lot of sugar. I mean, if you can just picture it, there's so much sauce on this thing, like sugary sauce. And a lot of the times after a few minutes of just recovering, lying on my back like a beached whale on the couch, I would then start to really hate myself. Getting angry at myself for why did I do that? Why didn't I stop? Why didn't I put the rest in the fridge or something? And I would always feel like that afterwards, after a few minutes. But it wouldn't stop me. There's a lot of times where I'd go the second night and order another two, to the point where the guys at this place would know me and I would never say anything to them. I would just say how much I enjoyed their pizzas. And I think they assumed that, I was bringing it home for, a family, or, for my wife and kids, or, maybe I've got some people over and I have people over 4 nights in a row, Monday to Thursday. I don't know. I never brought it up, and I was always worried about them asking, but they never did. They just gave me the pizzas and I was happy. So yeah, looking back, that was really bad. That was really bad. If you're not disgusted by this, or at least put off, then you've got a problem. It's something I look back at, and it's kind of weird to think that I would do that. It's kind of weird to think that it wasn't that long ago. It's making me hungry just talking about it. And it's a little bit hard to talk about, but at the same time, it's quite cathartic, because I don't normally, when I do that, it's usually me at home alone, like there's no one else around. So it's kind of like, it's like this me time. So it's not something that I plan to talk about or share. So it's a bit weird saying this, but it's true. I guess this has taken a lot longer than I thought to just tell you about one of the binge eating episodes that I've had, or I've had several of these, but so I guess I'll make another video when I talk about one of the other ones. But I just gotta say, there's something about a freshly baked, cooked pizza with lots of cheese, lots of that stringy, melted, caramelized cheese with, say, pepperoni, big chunks of pepperoni, chili flakes, and lots of that thick but soupy, garlicky barbecue sauce, really sweet barbecue sauce. And then a base that is very fluffy but also crispy. And when you bite into it, it's just soft. Okay, this is getting weird. Anyway, that's not where I wanted to go with that. I just wanted to confess that that's what I do. Hopefully I never do it again, but, I used to say that 4 or 5 nights a week. So we'll see. Look, I'm 4.5 weeks into this diet. It's basically a keto diet. It's nothing special. What is special, what is interesting, and what is working is this idea that probably for the second time in my life, I'm actually sticking to this diet. It's not something that I'm sticking to occasionally. It's not something that I'm dipping in and out of, or it's not like I'm cheating on the diet and then trying to fix it the next day. It's not like that. It's like the second time, I'll make a video about the first time. I've been through this process before. The first time I did this about 4 years ago, I lost about 36 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds. Roughly double, 72, 80 pounds, something like that. I lost a lot of weight. And I did put some of it back on. I put about half of it back on. Not all of it, but still a lot got put back on. And I'll do a whole video about that. This is the second time on this journey. And it's, the second time in my life where I've really stuck to a diet for a meaningful amount of time. I've got another 2.5 months, 3 months to go with this kind of restricted eating pattern. It's not that restrictive, by the way, but it's just compared to 2 family pizzas for dinner, this is quite restrictive. And I'll go into some detail on another video about that. But I guess the point I want to make is it's working because I'm sticking to it. And I've got a video idea that I'm putting together around this idea that all diets work. I think that's something I'm learning. All diets work. It's just people don't stick to them. I'm not saying all diets are good. I'm not saying all diets are bad. I don't know if diets are good or bad. I have no idea. But what I know is that most diets work. What doesn't work is people don't follow them. It's a whole other story to think about whether it's worth following a diet for the rest of your life. I don't think so. But what I'm on now is a temporary thing. I want to get to my goal weight, which is 85 kilos. And then, once I get to that, while maintaining some muscle, then I can transition off that, transition into, a healthier eating lifestyle where I can eat a bit more normally and enjoy food, but at the same time not control myself and not go overboard. That's a whole part of the journey that I messed up the first time that I will obviously document when I get to that point, because this time I'm hoping to actually sort that part out. I really messed that up the first time. That's a whole nother confession video. Hopefully this has given you some insight into how bad things can get. Hopefully you can't relate to this, but if you can relate to eating 2 family-sized pizzas 3 or 4 nights a week for weeks at a time, then hopefully this has given you some sense that you're not alone and that, I've been through it a lot and there's a way to overcome it. It's not easy, but you can do it. Hopefully you got something out of this. As you know, I've mentioned before, this channel is really about me documenting and keeping myself accountable for my weight loss journey and also for the therapy that I would otherwise need. I feel like I can just get free therapy by just talking to myself in front of a camera, and maybe some people will listen or watch. But hopefully you got some value. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Tell your friends if you think they would get some value out of it. I'm just trying to be authentic and honest. That's my commitment to whoever's watching, you, that I'm going to be honest along this journey, and hopefully you can get something out of it. See you in the next one.